Big one, obviously, is this H-1B nonsense that came out over the weekend, Friday night. And it's just ridiculous. As you all know, they made a bunch of errors that the whole thing didn't make any sense. And then when they're announcing it, they said a bunch of misnomers and things that are wrong. And it still doesn't answer because they issued this proclamation. You're reading as missing stuff. Then they issued a cleanup version of it, where USCIS had a statement from their legal department and CBP, but it's still missing stuff. What if someone changes jobs? Do they need 100,000 there? Do they extensions, changes? All this kind of stuff is not clear. And the funniest thing about it was the link that they have for CBP's issued guidance. Instead of going to a CBP website, it goes to Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X. And then the tweet has a PDF that they redacted from who it's from, which is weird, but it's okay. They said, let's set the record straight. President Trump's updated H-1 visa applies only to new prospective petitions that have not yet been filed. Well, it doesn't set the record straight. What if someone's changing jobs? But okay. Petitions submitted prior to September 1st are not affected. Any reports claiming otherwise are flat out wrong and should be ignored. And immediately, people obviously said this in the reply. Yeah, the president and the secretary of whatever he is was out there saying it's $100,000 a year. It affects everybody. They're the ones who did it wrong. And also, there's no way to pay right now. There is no review period for them to put a rule like this. So obviously, I'm waiting for the lawsuit notices to come today, Monday. But it was just so like ridiculous to a point. It's like, are they just trying to make chaos? And this reminds me of the first travel ban, where they just created a travel ban and then they didn't even tell CBP. So CBP all of a sudden got the same news that we did, but publicly, that there's a travel ban. Huh? Is that incompetence, or is that some other thing? I don't know. But that's the situation we're dealing with right now. One continuation of that, afterwards, they just announced the White House says doctors may win a reprieve from H-1B visa. And this is the headache and problem that we see with immigration laws. People don't understand immigration law, so they just think it's this one thing, like, oh, just shut down H-1Bs. But I realize H-1B is not all tech workers. There's people from across the world. There's different jobs. There's the H-1B for doctors who are in rural areas, or going through that one process to be able to, what's it called? The 10 people in each state could do it. It's more complicated than that. It has a nasty effect on the economy when we just shut things down. Maybe give like a timeline of say 6 months, 9 months, a year, instead of just Friday nights saying stuff like that. Not well thought of as well, but it's what we expected anyways.